Have you ever felt rushed into picking an NDIS provider? Maybe somebody said, just go with whoever. Go with whoever is available. Well, you don't really have a choice. Well, I'm here to tell you that is completely wrong, and it is also how a lot of participants end up with the wrong providers, one who don't listen, don't explain, and don't even support your actual goals. So today I'm going to be showing you the exact questions that you can ask to avoid that mistake. So this video could save you months and months of stress, or even thousands and thousands of dollars in wasted funding. So let's jump into it. A lot of people think that the NDIS assigns your providers. Well, they don't. You're the decision maker, but what the system doesn't do is teach you how to choose well. No one hands you a guide that says what to ask, what the red flags are, or how to spot a provider who is just trying to fill your hours and not actually help you grow. And unfortunately, this is where a lot of participants, maybe even you, get stuck. You've been told you have to stay. You've been told you have to say yes. You've been told this is who is available. And somebody in all of that, you stop feeling in control. But the truth is, you don't have to settle. You can ask better questions, and a good provider won't be threatened by them. They'll actually welcome them. So let me remind you, you are allowed to slow down, and you're allowed to say, I'll get back to you. And you're also allowed to interview providers before you agree to anything. And you don't owe anybody. You don't owe anyone your hours just because you're in their inbox. This guide I'm about to walk you through, it's not theory. It's actually a tool that I help people with in every day with real providers, and I want to help you to protect your funding and your future. So let's walk through the 10 core questions first. Then I'll give you some bonus ones for therapists, support coordinators, and anybody doing capacity building work with you. Number one question is, what services do you offer and what don't you do? If a provider can't clearly explain what they don't offer, then that's a massive red flag. Do you have any experience supporting people with disabilities like mine? Not all experience is equal. Some are good with kids, might be great with ABI or psychosocial disabilities, okay? Question 3 is, how do you include me in decisions about my supports? If they talk about you instead of with you, that's a problem. Question number 4, can I choose my own workers? Choice and control means you get a say in who's in your team. Full stop. Question 5 is, how do you handle complaints or concerns? So a good provider will have clear and fair process. If they get really defensive, move on. Question 6, will your service help me build independence? Be very careful of providers who keep you dependent because it actually benefits their bottom line. Question 7, how do you align your services with my NDIS goals? They should know your goals. They do. It's one of the things, you need to share your goals and be able to tell them how they are going to support you, okay? Question 8, will you help me prepare for my next plan review? If they avoid this topic of reviews, you might not get the preparation that you actually need. Question 9 is, how do you manage budgets and explain funding? Transparency matters, especially if they are plan managers or involved in financial decisions. Question 10 is, how often will you check in? That's right. How often will they check in? And very important question. And how easy it is to reach them when things change. Because as we know, it's very frustrating when a support coordinator just vanishes and then you've got to bounce around through the organization to find out who is actually looking at your file. So here are some extra questions that I'm just throwing in if you're looking at getting somebody on your team that is going to help you with your capacity building. So therapists, support coordinators, those sort of things. Question 1 is, what your process for understanding my goals? How do you track progress and give updates? And if you need a different provider, will you help me find one? One of the biggest questions that I like to use when asking capacity building providers, how do you help me build skills so I eventually need less support? That is the heart of what capacity building provider should be doing. So you can print these questions, you can bring them to your provider meetings, and you can even email them in advance and compare their responses. And let me be very blunt. If somebody dodges these questions or give you vague answers, that's your answer right there. This list isn't about making life hard for providers. It's about making sure that you don't waste your time and your energy or your funding on somebody who isn't the right fit, because you deserve more than just somebody who's available. You deserve somebody who actually listens and supports and respects your goals. So if you want this full checklist of questions, you can download it. It's completely free, 100% free, using the link in the description or even the pinned comment in the comment section. And if you're feeling overwhelmed by your NDIS plan, or you just want somebody to talk to who doesn't push, doesn't sell, but actually listens, this is actually what I do. I help people. My name's Alan and I run Strong Foundation Support, and I offer one-on-one coaching and mentoring to help you understand your plan and, of course, use your funding better and build your independence your way.